purpose. Why was this thing set apart for this certain people? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of carnal Israelites, they see it like they speak from emotion. They say things like, well, we gonna do everything our oppressors did to us and we gonna rule over them. That's why we set apart. That ain't the end all be all of what that rulership is about. You know what I'm saying? So they taking that rulership out of context. And if they can say that, you can say, for example, the oppressors, they raped our men in front of everybody. They call that, what they call that, y'all? Y'all know that term?
Butt breaking.
Right. So butt breaking or also bull breaking. So when they raped our men in front of everybody, and you saying that we gonna turn around and do everything our oppressors did to us, that means you want to do some bate boy stuff like that too, right? So what I'm finna do now, we finna go to some of the scriptures that they be pulling out. These same scriptures that they go to make us look bad. Like now everybody and their mama think that so-called Israelites is a hate group. Baruch Shabbat, y'all. Matter of fact, because we is in the Shabbat for some of the people that celebrate Shabbat on tonight. But listen, for sure that Shakir. So check this out. So to the ones that push those doctrines, they really make us don't look like what we were meant to be. And what we were meant to be is a priesthood people. The Hebrew word for priesthood is kohanim, y'all. So we were meant to be a priesthood people. That was our whole purpose, right? So now we finna go in through the scripture and discover why that's our whole purpose, because it's really bigger than ourselves. Another thing is also people who been doing this walk, they motivation, I think, sometimes be selfish. Their main motivation is because they scared. Oh, I don't want to go to the lake of fire. Oh, I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to be killed. Or they be like, oh, I want to go to the kingdom. But really, it's bigger than what you want to do. It's bigger than your personal thing. It's really all inclusive to everybody. You know what I'm saying? One band, one sound. The Hebrew word for one is ikad, y'all. And so we got to be ikad. So check this out real quick. I'm finna share my screen. And if you got, hold on. Okay, bet. I'm finna share my screen real quick. I want to show y'all something. You know, share my screen. And you know we got to pull out this etymology, y'all. Because we can't be saying words and not really knowing the full depth of what they is. Check this out. First of all, do anybody know what Hebrew mean? Anybody know what Hebrew mean?
From my understanding, that was the people who crossed over.
That sound about right. So get what? Now we got to discover the purpose of what we be calling ourselves, right? We call ourselves Hebrews. We call ourselves Israelites. Now we finna get to the origin. And you definitely right for the people that crossed over. So look, Hebrew, the late Old English, Old French, Hebrew. That word there is important because I'm going to show you all this in Genesis chapter 10, where that word come from. Check this out. Ibrahim is the same word, corresponding to the Hebrew Ibri. Now, guess what, y'all? Y'all ever heard of, they referring to Hebrew language called Ivrit? Also, this is the same word like ivory. When you go to Africa, you'll see that it's something called the Coast of Ivory. This so happened to be the same places where they came and got some of our forefathers. So check this out. So the ones that crossed over from the Euphrates River, traditionally from an ancestral name, Eber. Y'all, anybody recognize that name there? Anybody know who Eber is? So check this out. Eber was one of our forefathers, but he a descendant of Shem. Now, in previous times, we talked about who Shem was, right? But in a way, it say, but probably literally one from the other side, perhaps in reference to the river Euphrates, or perhaps simply signifying immigrant from Eber, region of on the other side or opposite side. So check this out. You right. I think Zealous said that, but Hebrew do mean to cross over. It mean also beyond. It mean also to pass over or pass through. Now, the whole time, the spiritual meaning of this is we got to pass over from our carnal man, right? And we got to pass to the spiritual side. Let me also show y'all that same word what we just looked at, Ivrit. Let me show y'all something. For some reason, I can't spell the word. This word right here, and I can't even pronounce that, y'all. Cote d'Ivoire. But basically, that's the coast ivory, the Ivory Coast. This is where we came from. This so happened to be the same word that we was just looking at, that derived from Eber. You know what I'm saying? Our forefathers. So look, I'm finna go to Genesis 10 real quick before we get into these scriptures and show y'all who Eber is. Or Ivrit. Check this out. If we scroll down, verse 21, Genesis chapter 10, verse 21. This is our forefather, y'all. This is where the Hebrew word come from. It say, unto Shem also the father of all the children of Eber. This is where the Hebrew language come from, y'all. Eber, the brother of Japhet, the elder, even to him were children born. So check this out, y'all. Also, when you notice that Eber was the great-great-great-granddad of Abraham, and Abraham was known as a Hebrew man. So I wanted to go over the etymology of what Hebrew is. Also, we can go over the etymology of what it means to be Israel. But let me stop sharing my screen real quick because we finna go ahead and jump into these scriptures. All right. We finna start this thing off in Genesis. You know what? I ain't got my sword with me, but look, we're gonna do Genesis 11. So y'all just keep that in mind. To be Hebrew means to cross over, to pass over, and it come from our forefather Eber, which was the grandson of Shem, y'all. And Shem was one of the three sons that Noah had. Y'all remember that and write that down. But we doing Genesis 11. Let me see. I'm gonna have to go on my phone.
No, Sadie.
And then we do verse 27. Genesis 11 and 27. We're finna go over Abraham's genealogy.
All right, verse 27.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Now these are the generation of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of nativity in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abram and And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wives were Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and the father of Iscah. But Sarah was barren; she had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarah, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, and they came into Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran.
Boom, stop. I want y'all to write that down, that Genesis 11, 27 to 32, because I want y'all to understand, if we talking about Hebraic people and we talking about what our purpose is, we got to first go to the man who really carried our covenant, which was Abraham, and understand his genealogy. His daddy's name was Terah. Notice how they left from the land of the Chaldeans, and they went to another land, which was Haran. They crossed over. They went beyond. But spiritually, this is what we got to do. Also, I always talk about us going to the wilderness. This is what we need to be doing, making these tight transitions, because the Most High can't deal with you in certain areas and certain places. But what we finna get into why were we chosen? Why were we chosen to be the people to cross over? Because really, the sum of it is we're going to be crossing a lot of people over. If we the priesthood people, we got to be a priesthood people to somebody, right? So check this out. Let's go to Genesis 12 real quick. And we finna go over the first task for Abraham, because look, we going from the front. Well, not the very beginning, but we starting with Abraham and trickling it down. Because first we call ourselves Hebrew, but then we call ourselves Israel after the man Israel, and we're gonna discover what Israel means too, or what it means to be an Israelite. We understand it right now what it means to be Hebrew first. But look, we're gonna do Genesis chapter 12.
We're starting at 1.
Yeah, from the top, go down to verse 3. Genesis 12, 1 through 3.
Now Yahuwah has said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great. And thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And these shall all families of the earth be blessed.
Boom, stop. So now we getting the task of what the Hebrew people is. Notice how this was a covenant. This was a conversation between Abraham and the Most High. He first told him, you finna be this place. You finna be moved to another place, right? Verse 2, and they say, and I will make of you a great nation. Now, a lot of carnal Israelites, they love to hear that. Oh, we're a great nation. They love that because that pride come in. But remember, y'all, pride come before a fall. But notice this, and they say, and I will bless you and make your name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Verse 3, and I will bless them that bless you, and curse him that curse you, and in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So from square one, y'all see that all the families of the earth gonna be blessed. So to the Israelites that be saying ain't no salvation but for Israel, are they true? Are they telling the truth based off of what we just read in Genesis 12? Nope. Right. Cause they'll be quick to say, man, salvation only for the Israelite. You feel me? Straight pride talking, but they not understanding, they not slowing down and reading the scripture. Salvation is for the whole earth, but they got to come through Israel. You feel what I'm saying? So in this square one, what we just read in Genesis 12, we finna get some more on this. Let's go to Genesis chapter 15.
I feel like even on an elementary level, like, why would the Most High even create all these other people if he just gonna like utterly destroy them? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if he just wanted Israel, then he would have just made Israel, had Israel, you know?
It'd be like an ego thing, like a cult, like following thing, like.
Right.
And you're right, it is like an ego thing, but it stems from emotion. Like everybody knows it's easy to be mad at our oppressors from what they did to us. Like it's easy to be mad at them. But according to 1 Kings 8, that ain't the type mindset we need to be in while we in this land of captivity. You know what I'm saying? And we can visit that eventually too. 1 Kings 8. Right now, we should be in the state of bethinking ourselves and repenting and doing like the African Sankofa bird is, looking back. You feel me? We going back to our roots. But check this out. We finna go to Genesis 15 and we finna see the extent of what Abraham got going on. Because remember, Abraham is our father, which is a Hebrew man. He one of the most monumental Hebrew men. You feel me? Let's do it. Genesis chapter 15.
Are we starting at the top?
Yep.
After these things, the word of Yahuwah came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Yahuwah Elohim, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus? And Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of Yahuwah came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now towards heaven and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall your seed be. And he believed in Yahuwah, he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am Yahuwah that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees to give thee this land to inherit it. And he said, Yahuwah Elohim, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, take me a heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took unto him all these, and divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against another. But the birds divided he not. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know assuredly that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
I stop real quick. So check this out. So far, we've seen the whole context of the Most High. He's showing Abraham things through nature. He's showing him through the stars. He's showing him that his seed going to be a great nation, numbered as the stars, right? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Okay, bet. We finna go ahead. Y'all done?
Yep, I need a signature on this one so I can pull.
Bet. Y'all had the seal on them?
Huh?
You got the seal on them?
I have the seal in my pocket. Go forward and close it up. I'll put it on.
Hold on, y'all. Yes, sir. Hey, check this out. So the Most High been giving Abraham all these visions and showing how he gonna have a great nation. You know what I'm saying? And that sound like music to everybody's ears. But it's something that come with this. Look, let's go to Genesis chapter 15 real quick.
We already there.
I mean Genesis 17. That's what I meant to say.
Are we starting at verse 1?
Yeah, verse 1.
And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahuwah appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Elohim. Walk before me and be perfect.
Oh, wait real quick. Be thou perfect. Y'all remember this. The Most High always told people to be perfect. But get what? If you talk to a Christian pastor or any kind of pastor, whatever, they always tell you, bro, you ain't gonna be able to do these laws. You can't be perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody perfect but Jesus. Blue-eyed Jesus. But all right. The Most High always told her to be perfect. Now keep going.
And I will make my covenant between me and you, and I will multiply you exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Elohim talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and you, and your seed after thee, and their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a Elohim unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. Wait.
So real quick, y'all notice like shalom, man, shalom, Celeste, shalom. But y'all notice how we on this reoccurring thing where the Most High. Wait, can y'all see me? I believe my screen now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Most High, we on a reoccurring thing where the Most High, he blessing Abraham and giving a covenant to him. Do y'all know one of them covenants that he gave to him? Like what did the Most High make Abraham do in one of those covenants?
Circumcision, right?
Circumcision. Now notice how circumcision be on you feel me, a man privy part. But this kind of like the same concentration of covenant when a man and woman lay down. I believe he'll put on private part for a reason. But check this out. I'm finna show y'all. So if Abraham, he creating a whole lot of nations, in the scripture it also say that we gonna be a blessing to all nations. But right now, a lot of our carnal Israelites, we agree on a lot of nations. But I be sometimes, listen, somebody might see me wearing fringes or ZZ, and they be like, "Oh, you an Israelite, huh?" And I don't know how to feel about this sometimes. I be like, bro, you don't get me confused with the ones you might know. The mainstream ones you see on TV trying to make people lick up their boots. I ain't coming like that. You feel what I'm saying? Because I understand that we are priesthood people. We got a certain mission and task to do. But our mission and task is not to be emotional and be mad at people. You feel what I'm saying? Because we got to understand the depths of why we were created. Why are we a chosen people? Why are we set apart? Many people don't realize this. But look, let's go to Genesis 18:18. Let's get that one liner real quick, all right?
Boy, you typing?
Hey, chill out.
That doodle typing, bro.
AJ, I just thought about you remember when you saw those Gentiles at the Arboretum?
Yeah.
And they were like prepping to do Sukkot, if I'm not mistaken. And you were trying to talk to them, but they were like, I guess they probably saw if you had fringes or tzitzis on. They was like, oh yeah, we don't want to mess with him. Like, he one of those Israelite boys.
Man,
I'm like, huh?
Man, one time, me, Josiah, I believe 12:30. I don't know if you was out there or not. I believe 12:30 in here. But we was at Little 5 Points one time in Jacksonville, Florida, boy. And boy, we had a little crowd around us. We out there chopping it up good with the people. But it mostly was Gentiles. It was predominantly white people out there for some reason. And it was this, at first, the reason why we was out there because I heard these missionary Christians and they was out there preaching to our people. So I stepped in and I was like, I got the real flavor juice. But at that point, people were like, oh man, this young man know a lot about the scripture. So anyway, before you know it, I'm talking to the white pastor that was talking to everybody at first. And he said, man, bro, you really know the Bible. And he said, but I'm just confused why you able to speak to me. And he was like, because he had the impression that Israelites don't supposed to speak to white people or that we would be confrontational or belligerent with them. I said, no, that ain't the thing. That ain't what really going on. You feel what I'm saying? Because really, once you understand, I should have brought Andrea or Julie in here real quick. Some Gentile women that we congregate with, and they really understand what the placements is, the roles is. They understand that they Gentiles, and they understand they have to come and learn the truth from us. Right. You feel me? So look, real quick, let's do that Genesis 18:18, and we're gonna build on that. Add this to y'all precept, Genesis 18:18. Right, Jay, they say what, I
was about to read.
Yeah, go ahead.
Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. It's like a question mark.
Right. So, but look, it's talking about all the nations of the earth gonna be blessed by us, just like you can read in Micah chapter 4, where all the nations of the earth gonna be flocking to Mount Zion, trying to learn the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and understanding that we gonna give to them. You feel what I'm saying? But just so happened that Hebrew people and Israelites, just so happened, especially our forefathers, they were really saturated in melanin. they were saturated in carbon. Now check this out. People from the land of Alkebulon, or just all over the world, because you got dark-skinned people all over the world. Y'all understand that? Hold on, let me just share my screen. I'm finna show something real quick. Let me share my screen. Because listen, the original man, you feel me? And when I say original man, I'm talking about people who are dense in melanin. Shoot, they about got the same composition as stars, the sky, and aliens. But check this out, y'all. It's something called 9 series DNA that our people are known for. So watch this. Y'all go do this research on this. In 1996, 9 geneticists discovered that black Africans possess more DNA series than any other group on Earth. They have 9 DNA series, while Europeans only have 6. The more DNA series you have, the greater your potential for genius. For this reason, they copyrighted that study to hide that truth. This map shows the result of their research. So check this out. Whenever on y'all own time, y'all go check into this about the 9 series DNA, because the way how we coded, the way how we design, we really are designed to be a priesthood people. Now let me ask y'all something. If we Hebraic people, what area in the map did we come from, right? Where? On the world map, where did we come from?
Africa.
Was it the land right outside of Egypt? Right, all of that. So I'm finna go to something real quick. Real quick, before I finish these precepts I got, go to Ezekiel chapter 5. I just thought about this. Go to Ezekiel chapter 5. This right here gonna help prove, even geographically, that our forefathers, or us being the descendants of our forefathers, that we were meant and created, set apart, and chosen to be a priesthood people. Priests, what they do, they serve people, but they give them spiritual wisdom as well. Read Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 5.
Thus said Yahuwah Elohim, this is Jerusalem. I have set it in the midst of the nations and countries that are round about her.
Right, so check this out. Let me share my screen one more time. Because look, we finna have to go to this world map. Because I don't know if everybody in here understands geography, but I found it crazy when I read that scripture. And I noticed this. Hold on. But I'm saying, it's the crazy fact that Jerusalem is really in the midst of all the nations. Imagine if this was like Pangea. Everything in the Western world over here, Canada, United States, Brazil, Greenland, all that. What if it was all smushed back the way how in place that it was supposed to be in, right, y'all?
Yeah.
And Jerusalem is about really in the midst of all the nations for real, in the middle of all these land masses. So guess what? I mean, studies show that the Garden of Eden was stretched, you feel me, between somewhere in Ethiopia and Jerusalem. But notice how that's in the middle of all the nations. It's no coincidence that even through slavery, right, we would still be in the servitude of priesthood people that we were supposed to be in, but we just got the ass end of the stick, you feel me? And we was put throughout nations through slavery, but we're supposed to be put throughout nations as people coming to us for like gurus, you feel me? Coming to us for wisdom, coming to us for understanding, overstanding. You feel what I'm saying? So get what? So who is the man that we get our term Israel from, y'all?
Yaakov.
Right. So we get our name Israel from the forefather Yaakov. Let's go to Genesis 28, verse 10. And so since we understand that we're priesthood people, then we got to really understand what a priest do. You know what I'm saying? Priest in Hebrew is Kohen, and priest, plural, is Kohanim, y'all. Remember that. Remember that. So if I ever say it. So we finna go to Genesis 28. And we're gonna go to verse 10. We just doing a warm-up. We doing a warm-up and getting ourselves prepared for when I start breaking these doctrines down that a lot of our One West Negro Israelites be pushing. And I ain't hating on them or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, y'all, we got to stop the lies. I mean, talking about lies to the fact that when people read Gentiles in the scripture, that a lot of Israelites, since they want everything, all the glory to us only, they try to make it seem like Gentiles are Northern Kingdom Israelites. And that's not the case all the time. And I can break that down too, y'all. Gentiles really is European people. And we can read that in Genesis chapter 10, first and foremost. You feel me? They are Japhetic people. But that's a debate among Israel right now. But I know why it's a debate. Also, another thing, that chart that we first saw when we came into the truth, the 12 tribe chart, that thing, I can show you interviews with some of the people that was with Abba Bivens. The man that started it was Abba Bivens, and they did that in the 1980s when they created One West, y'all. But that chart is off. But it's not the fact, it wasn't malevolently created, right? It was just created to draw people in, to get their attention. But then, after Abba Bivens died, y'all, and Shakir, y'all from New York, so y'all can probably understand how One West kind of took over the world. One West is like really only a New York thing, right, y'all? But it took over the whole United States. But with the chart, once Abba Bivens them boys died, they descendants started teaching the chart like it was straight factual, when really the chart was just to draw people in. You know what I'm saying? But Abba Bivens them, they weren't teaching it like that. But after they died, people started taking that chart serious. Like, oh yeah, that's it. Judah this and Levi this. Try to say that you Simeon and Levi, and then even when they talk about Moabites and Ammonites being, you feel me, Asian people, this and that, they say that because Down syndrome, they look like they got Down syndrome. It's just crazy, man. This whole thing is bigger than what their interpretation of Genesis 49 is. You know what I'm saying? Because we were put throughout the whole world, not just in no doggone the Americans, like that chart say, y'all. But I ain't mean to go out. I went off subject, but look, let's go to Genesis chapter 28, verse 10 real quick. Read verse 10 all the way to 14, all right?
And Yaakov went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night because the sun was set. And he took the stones of that place and put them for his pillows and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of Elohim ascending and descending on it. And behold, Yahuwah stood above it and said, I am Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham thy father, and the Elohim of Yitzchak. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
All right, so that's what I wanted, y'all. Right when it said all the families of the earth gonna be blessed, this is the same thing that he told Abraham. So guess what? All the families of the earth are blessed by us right now. Even though we got the bad end of it, because we done built their cities, we done did this. Some of our, after 70 AD, some of our Israelite brothers went to Morocco and Tunisia and Algeria, and they became the Moors, and they went up to Spain and taught Spanish people how to not be laying in a bed with their chickens and goats, taught them how to take baths and all kind of stuff, taught them mathematics, y'all. You feel me? But check this out. We done about built everything around us. You feel what I'm saying? But the only thing is, we done built it off of blood, sweat, and tears when we really supposed to been building it off of righteousness. So guess what? When the scriptures say that we are salt and light to the world, get what? We are the flavor and we are the light, y'all. But we got to make sure we doing it according to the Torah. Now, we finna get into the practical application of the Torah. Why is the Torah created? Because the Torah is straight science, y'all. It's political science. Because when you say political, you come from policy. The law is nothing but policy, right? So it's political science. It's our environmental science because we got to learn to understand how to treat nature and the things around us. It's also social science. We got to learn how to deal with each other. Once we get ourselves fixed up and we start practicing and practically applying Torah, then the rest of the world gonna understand how to operate properly, and we restore the balance to things, y'all. This the whole purpose of why we were set apart. Not to be in no pride talking about, oh, I'm Israel. But no, we were set apart to show the whole world how to act. You feel what I'm saying? How to conduct themselves and be upright, to cross over from their carnal minds to their spiritual mind. This is what Hebrew meant. We just went over the etymology of what Hebrew means. To cross over, coming from our forefather Eber. Know what I'm saying? So check me out. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5. Anybody got anything to put on that and say?
I was gonna say, that's one of the purposes of Yahusha walking this earth too. When he say, I come not for like the other nations, but to restore the lost sheep of Israel and everything. People take that and they're like, oh yeah, he came for us. It's all about us. Blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. No, he came to restore Israel, because a house divided against its own shall not stand, right? So He had to get the nation together so that we could step back into our priesthood, so that we could do our due diligence and, do for the other nations. You know what I mean?
No cap. Right. Check this out. If we both was on a bike ride and we fell off our bike and broke our leg, but I got the tools to fix our leg, I gotta first fix my leg before I fix your leg. That's the whole purpose of what Yahusha was when he was saying stuff like that. Anybody got anything to say, ask, or put on that? Bet. All right, check this out. Let's go to 1 King 8, y'all. I said Matthew 5, but now we're gonna do 1 King 8 because we gotta set the tone of what we need to be like, while we over here in this so-called land of captivity, y'all. It ain't gotta be no land of captivity because the whole earth belongs to us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta rush back to Africa or nothing like that. we right here where we belong. We run the whole earth, G. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. 1 King 8. All the nations gonna flock to us. We're going to start at verse 41. Let's put ourselves in the spirit that we need to be in as a priesthood people, trying to get back to our priesthood. 1 King 8, starting at verse 41.
Moreover, concerning a stranger that is not of thy people Israel, but coming out of a far country for thy name's sake, for they shall hear of thy great name and of thy strong hand and of thy stretched out arm. And when he shall come and pray towards this house, hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth to thee for, that all the people of the earth may know thy name, to fear thee as do thy people Israel, and that they may know that this house which I have builded is called by thy name.
So check this out, y'all. Did it say all the people of the earth, or did it say just Israel, y'all? It said all the people of the earth. This thing is all inclusive when we get ourselves together. You feel what I'm saying? Because like I said, we were just chosen to be a template type people. But we failing at that task right now, especially since we done woke up, right? A lot of Negroes done woke up to who we are, but they ain't woke up to what our purpose is yet. All they know is they're Israelite. All they know is they Hebrew. All they know is they can be spiritual. You feel me? But come on, let's get into why we are that. The reason is not for you to be scared to go to hell, and not for you to be wanting to go to heaven. Your little personal reasons. The biggest reason is because we are to teach everybody else how to operate. Come on, let's keep going. Verse where we stop? Verse 45. Verse 46. Let's do it.
If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near. Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land where they were carried captives, and repent, and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart, and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, in the house which I have built for thy name.
All right, stop real quick. Before you finish that out, I just don't want to skip over what verse 47 said, y'all. It say, yet if they shall bethink themselves. So right now, verse 46, that already happened. We got carried into so many different lands, starting from the Assyrian captivity all the way to the Persian, to the Greek, to the Roman, and to what we doing now in the transatlantic slave trade, right? We already got carried away. But now, verse 47, it say, we got to bethink ourselves, for one, in the land where we were carried captives. Not in Israel, not nowhere else, but in the land where we were carried captive, y'all. And we got to repent. Repent and be thinking is the same word, the same Hebrew word, y'all. And it say, and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives. So guess what? Not only are we repenting, but we making supplication unto the Most High of them that carried them captives. So watch this. Saying we have sinned. We got to first admit, like, we ain't worth a hill of bean, and have done perversely, and we have committed wickedness. We got to have some self-accountability and realization, kind of like what we hit on last time. You know what I'm saying? Instead of putting the blame on the boy with some red horns and stuff, we need to put the blame on us. You feel what I'm saying? But look, verse 48, read that, all right?
And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, in the house which I have built for thy name. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause.
So check this out. So with all that being said, that's the only real way that the Most High gonna even listen to us. According to what we just read, that's how he gonna hear us in heaven and maintain our cause, right, y'all? Now look, John 9:31, Proverbs 28:9 say he don't listen to sinners. He don't listen to the prayer, or your prayers of somebody who don't hear the law is an abomination to him. But a part of our law, this is a commandment right here, right? It's about us being a meek people. This is prophesying for us being a priesthood people. If we ain't operating in our true of why we was created or why we were set apart, then how the Most High gonna even hear from us if we ain't doing as if we his wife, right? We in a marriage with him, and we not upholding the terms and conditions that he put before us in our ketubah or in our law, statute, commandment, our marriage contract. Then why would he even hear from us? But look, let's keep reading. Verse 50 real quick, all right?
And forgive your people that have sinned against you, and all their transgressions, wherein they have transgressed against you, and give them compassion before them who had carried them captive.
You straight?
You talking to me? You talking to me?
I think he might have been talking to somebody else.
Hold on,
You
my
good?
phone. Yeah, my phone was tripping, and that was yours.
I don't know. Y'all heard me?
Yeah, we heard you fine.
So I'm assuming that you read verse 50, and I ain't heard it though. But it say forgive our people that have sinned against them. But check this out: the whole verse 50 is hitting on compassion, y'all. We got to be in a state of compassion within our so-called repentance, y'all. Not so-called, but within our repentance. Y'all heard that?
Yeah.
So check this out. With all that being said, let's go to Jeremiah 31. Let's see how the Most High had dealt with us, so we can see how to deal with other people. Let's go to Jeremiah 31:3. You got it.
Yeah, I'm waiting on you.
Read Jeremiah 31:3.
All right. Yahuwah have appeared of old unto me, saying, yeah, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn thee.
Stop real quick. So the Most High, He's drawn us with love and kindness, y'all. So if we outside on the side of the street giving a bad image of the Most High, and you feel me, with hate, or was what seems to be hate, because some people gonna be like, well, I didn't have hate in my heart when I said this and that and this and that, but it's still giving the image of hate. We badly represented the Most High, and not only that, if He was humble enough to draw us with love and compassion and love and kindness, why can't we draw our people with love and kindness? And then not only that, once we got our people right, why can't we show the other nations love and kindness through wisdom? Because remember what we just read in 1 King 8 about compassion going to be showed on both sides, from the oppressor and to the so-called oppressed. You feel what I'm saying? But look, skip down to verse 27.
Behold, the days come, said Yahuwah, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast.
I
And it
stop
shall
reading.
come to,
Oh, no. Keep reading.
and it shall come to pass that like as I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, said Yahuwah.
So stop real quick. Notice how he said he gonna sow us with man and beast. People argue all day about whether they Israel or not. At the end of the day, y'all understand that Israel is a nation, right? Also, I'm gonna show you an example. The United States military is a nation, right? United States is a nation, but you got different ethnicities within this nation, right? Because some people came and got their citizenship. This ain't no different from Israel. Now you got natural, you feel me, flesh and blood Israelites, but then you got people who are not flesh and blood Israelites who can be grafted into the covenant, just like the Gibeonites did in what they were, Joshua chapter 9, just like Sikkim did when they laid down with Jacob's daughter Dinah. They end up coming into the covenant. But just like the nation's gonna do, just like in Micah chapter 4, the nation's gonna end up coming into our covenant. They ain't gotta be flesh and blood. But I went to Jeremiah 31 and 27 just to show you that some of us, we mixed in with man and beast too. So guess
Right.
what? What if some of these super brews come to find out that they is a so-called white man? How would they feel about that? Would that change their heart about how they feel about yo, hey, why, hey?
Right.
These things to be thinking about, yo. Would that change their heart? It wouldn't change my heart. I'ma still try to ride for yo, hey, why, hey. It don't matter what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Because I understand how this contract works. When we came out of Egypt, 600,000 strong, we ain't just had Israelites. Guess what? That's right. Phenotype, genotype. So check this out. And people go by that. But then, let me not get away from my point, but check this out. When we was in Egypt, in the land of Goshen, the Goshen was the hood. You feel me? This is what we the world at. But you had Midianites, Ethiopians, all kind of people there. Matter of fact, Moses, his two wives, one of them was a Midianite and one of them was an Ethiopian. Neither one of them was Israelite. You know what I'm saying? This is going to show you how mixed multitude we came out of Egypt with. It wasn't just Israelites that was oppressing Egypt at that time, because everybody and their mama came to Egypt after that famine. You feel me? But look, this is just going to show, this breaking down that doctrine that a lot of our people be having. You feel what I'm saying? Because they ain't slowing down reading. They thinking off emotion and being carnal. This is a whole spiritual walk, y'all. This is what Hebrew mean to cross over. We got to cross over from all that carnal stuff that we've been kicking all the time, y'all. You feel what I'm saying? So check this out. I went there to show how some of us are, we mixed in with man and beast too. That shouldn't change how you feel about your contract with the Most High, because we already locked and loaded. You know what I'm saying? This about the grand scheme. But check this out, y'all. I forgot what I was finna go to with it too. I had some on my head. But anybody got anything to say on that?
I got a question.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
You know how you saying it just wasn't specifically Israel. It was made for everybody, right?
You can say that. The grand scheme is get the whole world on track. Those who want to come over into this covenant that we got, for sure.
But do you think that plan was meant earlier before he did it to Abraham? Because he made a covenant with Noah too, said he wouldn't flood the earth and slay man and beast for like that again.
Yeah, and even all the way to Adam and Hawa. Because check this out: if we step outside the Bible and even look inside some of the like the Emerald tablets, the Sumerian tablets, and they talking about basically the same Eden story, the Garden of Eden story, when they talked about it in the Sumerian tablet, but it's also telling how Adam and Hawa, they weren't the only human beings. They weren't the first human beings, but they were the first one that had that divine intellectual mind that the Most High blew into them, because they were set apart to be a priesthood people from Adam and Hawa. Because according to the Sumerian tablets, prior to that, it was straight destruction. Because the sons of Anu, the Anunnakis, they came down and started putting caps on everybody's brain the way we couldn't use our full potential of our brain. So at that time, you had Neanderthals, you had Homo erectus, all these skeletons that these scientists be finding of cavemen looking people. They were real. You feel me? Like the Natufians, that's 10,000 BCE. But 6,000 BCE, that's when Adam and Hawa was created to be a priesthood people. And they were created with a intellect straight from Elohim to show everybody else how to operate. But then that was a fall of Adam and Eve too. You feel what I'm saying? When it trickled on down, Noah tried to keep that thing going. Abraham tried to keep that thing going. You feel me? Off of the strength of self, Enoch, Methuselah. You feel me? Once you start seeing the genealogy, you see how it all trickled down. You feel me?
Yeah, but I'm just saying you can use that like for the Israelite to just be like, oh, only Israel. So you're right. The Most High made everybody else. You feel me? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then if they say only Israel, what about Noah and Abraham? Because they weren't Israelites. You feel me? Abraham was a Hebrew, but he wasn't an Israelite. No, he wasn't Hebrew or Israelite. Because Hebrew wasn't a thing at that time. Hebrew started with his great-great-grandson, which is Eber, y'all.
That's what I was getting at.
Yep.
Right. Yes, sir. But these are the facts, man. And we gotta slow down, start paying attention to these things, and start. Cause listen, I ain't gonna lie, we fighting up against a whole lot of stuff. Like I represent truth. I ain't saying I'm represented by nothing, no Christian, no Muslim, no Hebrew Israelite thought. Although I know him, he bred. You feel me? Because I cross over, although I know I'm Israel, because like Israel saw the face of Elohim. That's what we trying to do, right? And naming land Peniel, you feel what I'm saying? But check me out. What I'm saying, all them doctrines that come with everything, I ain't standing for none of that. I'm only standing for what true is. So if that mean that I got to speak on some of my Hebrew brothers, that won't finna have to do. Just like they'll turn around and try to speak on the pastors, we gonna speak on everybody. You know what I'm saying? With love though. With straight love. For sure that. Look, let's go to Isaiah 56 real quick, y'all. Anybody got something to say before we go to Isaiah 56? No cap, Shakir. Iron do sharpen iron. We going verse 1 and verse 4. Isaiah 56, 1 through 4.
Thus said Yahuwah, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the son of man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. Neither let the son of the stranger that have joined himself to Yahuwah speak, saying, Yahuwah have utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. For thus said Yahuwah unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbath, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in mine house, and within my walls a place and a name better than of the sons and the daughters. And I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off.
Stop real quick. Do y'all see what was going on right there in Isaiah 56? This man saying, and we can see this a lot throughout the Torah and the Tanakh, that strangers, sojourners, foreigners, heathens, when they in our camps and they within our gates, they dwelling with us. They got to keep everything that we keep, right? They got to keep the high holy days if they circumcised. They got to keep the Shabbat. They got to do this. They got to do that. And when they fully operating in our covenant, the Most High honoring them too. But according to carnal Israelites, the Most High ain't honoring anything unless it's Israel. You feel what I'm saying? But we can read different.
Right. That's going back to Torah, Leviticus, the stranger that sojourned with you. And I've brought this up like to people, and they're like, well, stranger just means like an Israelite that got lost like in another country or something. I said, baby, what is you talking about? That don't even make sense.
Not, and that wasn't the case all the time. So get what? I'm already knowing that's what they gonna go with it for. But I wouldn't be making no claims if I ain't had no ammunition. You feel what I'm saying? We ain't finna come outside shooting unless we got the bullets ready. So what I'm saying is we done already went through that phase where we talking about that was only lost Israel. Because when you go to Matthew, Yeshua said, don't go to the Samaritans, don't go to the Gentiles, but go to the lost sheep of Israel. So if he said don't go to the Gentiles and Samaritans, that means Gentiles Samaritans not Israel, right? But what you say, Doodoo?
All right, so check this out. I ain't even being funny when I say this.
Go
How
ahead.
could they identify who was an Israelite outside of somebody being melanated or wearing the fringes? They wouldn't know.
That's a good question, Doodoo Bob.
What's the characteristics that make an Israelite? That y'all can tell me, like, what's the characteristics that got to make up Israelite?
And you talking about
no.
Right. You talking about like a flesh and blood thing,
Like,
not somebody that's already in the culture.
Identify, right? You won't be able to know. Like, just say you identify a black man. Oh, he got woolly hair and he dog. Okay, you take away those two characteristics to identify Israelite. What would you have to identify them?
You said
or their nationality.
For example, Bob Marley, his father was a Gentile. What do you want to say? White man.
But hey, look, I'm gonna say this, y'all. And I don't know if y'all ever watched Unedited TV before, but they used to do that back in the day up in New York, and it be all kind of people battling. I remember Brother Polite was arguing with some Israelites about this. Brother Polite was saying, how you don't know this man next to you is a so-called Gentile? And they was going to what we always go to, right? Where they say the seed is in the father, which is true. But that's determining what tribe he is in when it come down to tribal things. It is a such thing as being mixed, though, scientifically. You know what I'm saying? And Negroes know this scientifically and genetically that it is a such thing as being mixed. But when they say you can't, ain't no such thing as mixed in our culture, they talking about when it come down to what tribe you're gonna be with. You feel me? And what area you're gonna be in, especially in the wilderness. You feel what I'm saying? Where, like, because you had different positions around the tabernacle where everybody was set up at. So it's about what group you're gonna belong to, not about whether you scientifically mixed or not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, according to grouping and tribal things, Bob Marley would be considered a Gentile. You know what I'm saying? But Doodoo, like you
that's
said,
all I'm saying, because you
no, go ahead.
Just say, like, if I was a camp man, I just see a black man. He looked black to me, but I don't know who his father was. He just looked black, and I'd be like, "Oh, you're an Israelite." Does you know? I'm saying people identify Israelite. Oh, you got melanin, so you're an Israelite. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
But
what would they have to look for?
This, according to the Torah, the only thing we had to look for is in Deuteronomy 28 when it said you would know them by these signs and wonders. You feel me? So this really what the basis that we run off of. You know what I'm saying? Outside of haplogroups and stuff like that, but just the curses. You know what I'm saying? In the Torah.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, could we identify Israelites from the blessings as well too?
You know what? Boy, that's a excellent question. Do you have anything on that? Because what I'm saying, I don't think everybody as a whole fully stepped in them blessings yet. So that's hard to say. What can you add to that?
I was just thinking about what Deuteronomy said because a lot of people try to use Deuteronomy, I think it's chapter 28, verse 15 through 68. They use the
Yeah.
curse to identify Israel. But I was just thinking, like, why are we always using the curses, and why don't we use those blessings to identify Israel as well too? Because he did say you will know them by these curses. But I was just thinking, like, there got to be Israelites out there, like I feel like us, or like some individuals who you could tell they just walking in the spirit, and you know that they know who they are and who they say they are. You know, it's true, and then two or three, you know, they got two or three witnesses, and they got the Most High Spirit testifying for them. They, you know, they born again, so called. So I feel like we like the blessings, like once you born again, I feel like you're not really, you don't have to identify with the curses. You can identify with the blessings once you're born again.
Yeah. And so get
That
what?
basically answered my question.
Right. So get what? I'm gonna say it like this. I think the curses, when we talking about identifying, we talking about identifying lost Israelites. Because you can easily identify somebody under the blessings who walking in the culture. You know what I'm saying? But somebody who just naked and you can't really see it on them, I guess that's what they using the curses to identify with. You know what I'm saying?
So I was gonna say something on that blessings and the curses. Thinking about what he said, it was like, you know, blessed coming in, blessed going out, and your sheep should be blessed. And, you know, by you obeying the Torah, by you keeping Torah, yes, you'll be blessed. Because that is the standard, you know, either you obey it or you disobey it. And that's why people, they don't know and they're lost and don't know about Torah, is because no one has taught them right. You know what I mean? So like if you learn and you got the knowledge and you got the wisdom to use it accordingly, yes, you're going to be blessed. And that will be identifying who is and who is not keeping Torah.
No cap. No cap. You right, boy. But this is the stage that we in right now, whole time. But we do need to see, because I remember one time this dude named Josh, he asked me, he said, well, since Negro Israelites always asking about or worried about curses, why it seems like the Most High so mad at us and this and that. But look, to answer that, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 29 real quick. The next chapter over from that. Deuteronomy 29, and we're gonna start at verse 21. And on that last precept, whoever writing in your notes, put Isaiah 56, and we went 1 through all the way to verse 8. I don't know if I hit verse 8 yet, but yeah, we finna go to Deuteronomy 29 now.
Verse 21.
Yeah.
And Yahuwah shall separate him unto evil out of all the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of the covenant that are written in this book of the law, so that the generation to come of your children that shall rise up after you, and a stranger that shall come from a far land, shall say, when they see the plagues of that land and the sicknesses which Yahuwah have laid upon it, and that whole land thereof is brimstone, salt, and burning, that is, it is not sown, nor bare, nor any grass groweth therein, like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, Adamah and Zaboim, which Yahuwah overthrew in his anger and in his wrath. Even all the nations shall say, wherefore have Yahuwah done thus unto this land? What meaneth the heat of this great anger? Then man shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of Yahuwah Elohim of their fathers, which he had made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Mitzrayim.
Stop real quick. So check this out. I mean, right here, that's one of those identified things where they use the curses to identify people, right? Also, look, I want to point out to this. This is an unpopular opinion, but check this out. Sodom and Gomorrah, they was under a covenant with the Most High as well.
Yeah.
Remember how it's said throughout all the wisdom books that the Most High or anybody chastise who you love. See, what happened was Sodom and Gomorrah, remember, Lot was there. So Lot and Abraham had been to put them boys on game by the time he rescued them from that king. So by the time they came into the covenant with us and they didn't uphold it, and they started being bocce boys again, that's when the Most High killed them. If it wasn't never for them being into the covenant eventually, then the Most High probably wouldn't have destroyed that city. But he destroyed things, and he do destructions to things that he already locked into a covenant with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or this how the spiritual world work. You know what I'm saying? In general, you soon you get into a bond, oath, or a vow with any spirit, they hold you accountable, and they hold your sons and daughters accountable. But yeah, keep going real quick. Where we at? Verse 25. 26.
For they went and served other idols and worshipped them, idols gods whom they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them. And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against this land to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. And Yahuwah rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and great indignation, and cast them into another land as it is this day. The secret things belong unto Yahuwah our Elohim, for those things which are revealed belong to us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law.
All right, boom. Stop real quick. You can see how we are also chosen to be a priesthood people here in the last verse, how it said that these things will be revealed unto us. Remember, we talked about 9 series DNA. We already have the intellectual capability and capacity to be geniuses based off of our genetic makeup, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But this information gonna allow us to have the keys to unlock all these mysterious things, this esoteric knowledge that the Most High already put throughout the scripture. One of these days, I'm gonna talk to y'all about the 4 different Hebrew dynamics and levels of Hebrew literature writing styles. You know what I'm saying? Because it's 4 different levels. Like we've been going over these last couple of days about personification, allegory, dark scenes. You got 4 different levels. Anyway, with our intellectual capabilities and us being priesthood people, which is Kohanim, and we being Navim, which is prophets, we're going to have the keys to unlock all these mysterious things. Why is the Bible the #1 bestseller and the most misunderstood thing? Because at this point, these so-called chosen people, our forefathers, us being the descendants of them, we have not fully woken up to unlock these keys yet. But guess what? This time is coming now because Negroes is breaking it down. I'm talking about it's some people out here really understanding this thing through and through. Outside of the spirit of religion, they're not looking at no Bible like it's straight either, but they understand for what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Anybody got anything to say on that or put on that? All right, check this out. If not, look, let's go to Exodus 19. We finna do a couple more verses. I ain't really got to the meat in the potatoes of what I want to show in regards to us being priesthood people and why it's so important for us to who we are. I ain't really got to all my precepts yet, but I know we're gonna end up cutting the thing a little bit short tonight, and we're gonna hop on to part 2. But I'm gonna do a couple more precepts. We're gonna pray, and then we're gonna come up out of here real quick. You know what I'm saying? Get ready for the Shabbat tomorrow for the ones that taking the Shabbat and holding Shabbat tomorrow. Look, let's go to Exodus 19 real quick.
What verse?
We're gonna start that thing off verse 5 real quick. We might one line that.
Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
Boom, stop. Get what everybody love that right there. We love the fact to hear that we're a peculiar treasure to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But verse 6, let's read that verse 6.
And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Stop, boom. That's my main thing right there. That's my main doggone thing I hit on. We are a priesthood people. We're a nation of priests, right? But who we're a priest to? We're a priest to ourselves? No. But that's the picture that a lot of our Israelite brothers be painting. Only Israel gonna be saved and this and that. Well, if we're a priesthood people, who are we a priesthood people to? Other nations, right? The whole earth. That's why he said the whole earth is mine, and we're gonna be a priesthood people. Boom. That y'all might well put that in bold letters right there. That Exodus 19, verse 5 and verse 6. You know what I'm saying? Let's jump down on Deuteronomy chapter 7 real quick.
I feel like people I feel like people understand that we're a priesthood people, but they're not coming from a space of like, oh yeah, we're a priesthood people to show people how to, serve the Most High. They're coming from a space of like, we're a priesthood people. We over all y'all. Like y'all, we about to get. AJ, you remember I told you about that girl? Y'all, I was at work one day and I was like, ooh, like I was on break. I was like, ooh, let me find me a cute little edifying video. And I saw this girl, like she did a video talking about like righteous thoughts you could think about throughout the day or whatever. I click on the video, this girl, the first thing she told my son, "Ooh, I can't wait till I get to the kingdom. Me and my husband, we're gonna have us some Edomite slaves, and we're gonna slap them with our whips." And I'm like, "Girl, what is going on?"
I think a lot of that comes from like self-praise and like some of the shit we basically got in trouble for last time. You feel what I'm saying? Like self-praise and like, like this egotistic, narcissist like mindset that a lot of our brothers get caught into, you feel me? Because they didn't really do that self-healing. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest, man, you can't be born again thinking like that. You can't even be moving like that being born again. So I feel like a lot of those people, they know they Israelites, but they haven't received the Ruach HaKodesh. And a lot of them be Old Testament Israelites on top of that too. At least from what I've seen, they don't want to accept Mashiach. They want to be like these modern Jews that's waiting for some new Mashiach to come out of the clouds, to prove to them that he is who he says he is. But like I said before, you can't be born again talking like that. And then on top of that, talking about your own brothers and sisters, the Edomites is our brothers. We're not supposed to hate on our brothers and sisters.
Right,
So
for sure.
Right.
But look, on the real, I want to do a lesson about that because I think they really interpret what Edom is wrong too as well. Because according to so many scriptures I can pull in, 1 King 11, Genesis 38, Genesis 32, well, you can see how Edom ain't no white man. We got picked up by Gentiles or the Grecians. According to Joel 3, Grecians are not Edomites. But anyway, I'm not even gonna hit on that because that's a debatable topic.
Real quick.
Huh?
I say what they say.
Man, speak on it, brother.
They would say what they did was they went into the Caucasus Mountains, but it's like, bruh, yourself been up there. They been in the Caucasus Mountains, like, and the Edomites was a small nation anyway. So it's like, you see all these white people out here. Edomites was like a small nation,
right? According to Obadiah, yeah.
Compared to all these Gentiles out here. Like, come on now, you got to do the math,
man. But I can understand if somebody say spiritual Edom, but that ain't the name of the game ain't to be hating on them. Boy, Negroes be waking up. Man, I hate Esau. Why is that on your mind, my boy? You feel me?
Yo, listen. Yo, from what I've learned, from what I've studied, the Edomites have mixed their seed with pretty much all the nations of the earth, right?
Right. No cap.
We know that they started off as melanated people because they are the twin brothers of Jacob, and they are still a melanated people today. A lot of people will find like what is the place called? Saudi Arabia, the Bedouins, the Black Arabs, or the Black Ishmaelites, or the so-called. You know what I'm saying?
Shakir, let me ask you a question. Since you said that, who did Esau marry and have children by? It was 3 women.
Mm-hmm. Canaanites.
They were all melanated women. Canaanites and Ishmaelites. Right. You feel me? Wasn't no Japhetic people in that.
But you know what I would say to that? I would take it even a step further. His grandson, Zepho went and conquered the Isles of Japheth. So he mixed his grandson, mixed his seed with the Isles of Japheth.
So check this out. And then, but look, I'm glad you said that. Because then when we start looking at those empires that Edom had set up right before they got destroyed, right before we got destroyed, that they definitely was mixing in with different people because their whole mission was, if you want to talk about the contention, their mission was to try to get up on us. You feel me? So by the time the Romans did started doing their thing, yeah, you could say they started mixing themselves in there. But Edom or Esau himself, they not naturally white people. And you can't go around looking at every white person talking about some, oh, Esau. No, boy. Them
That's
was
fact. Esau
Japhet.
himself was a black man, and his children, 9 times out of 10, a majority of them, I would say, or maybe not a majority, because a lot of the indigenous people are kind of like been wiped off the face of the earth. At least the original Edomites, and there's still a lot of them out there. I believe that a lot of them are the Bedouins that we see in the so-called Middle East. A lot of them are the original Edomites, or the ones that you find in East Saudi Arabia, not the mixed breed ones, but the real Dravidian looking ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but what I was gonna say to that is like Esau and his descendant, not Esau, but even Esau himself mixed in with a lot of nations that he wasn't particularly supposed to mix in with. But we know that he was doing that purposely to, anger the most.
Make Isaac mad.
He had enmity. You know what I'm saying? Especially because he lost his covenant, or he lost his his inheritance, I would say. And he conquered a lot of people. Not him, just him himself, but his children and the grandchildren. These people love to mix themselves in with every nation, and specifically the Kittim, or modern, they
So
call
the
it Rome.
Romans. Yeah.
He see with the Romans specifically. So a lot of modern Romans, a lot of them are not like, they're not very fair skinned. They look kind of like olive tone, or they look like brown people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If you really go
Mediterranean
back in
whites.
history, if you go back, a lot of the first of these people were black people. Even the Japhetic people, a lot of them were dark skinned, or at least mixed looking people. So we just can't go with black or white to define what people are. Because the Edomites are definitely a melanated people.
I got a question.
Wait, real quick, Doodle. Just to add on that, Shakir, also the Aboriginal Australians, they Japhetic line. You know what I'm saying? But they really kept their melanin. But go ahead, Doodle.
Yeah, man, that's true.
Do you think with them missing with like Canaanites and everything was another way that Yahuwah wanted to save everybody outside of the Messiah before he came, for them to get our covenant, even though they mixed with other groups that they weren't supposed to? Was that a way for him to save all his creation?
I just think that was just the natural order of things, like us being in certain societies, like, you feel me? Because David had some kind of love for Canaanite people too. A lot of his soldiers were Canaanites. Like, I'm talking about his best soldiers, right hand men. They're crazy. But check this out. Shakir, I got a backtrack on it, because I noticed you talked about non-messianic people just then. It's crazy that people will call themselves non-messianic, because messianic is the same word as messenger. So what they saying, they ain't got no message? That's crazy. But look, Doodle, you'll finish saying what you were saying?
Yeah, that's just my question. Like I said, with them mixing with other people and bringing them up underneath the covenants that he made with us. What's that verse Ari put in here? Romans 9 verse 4-5. Was that a way for for him to save his other creation by them coming up under the doctrines and the covenant that he made with us?
Hey, look,
before he
I'm glad I put that in there, because I was finna go to Paul. I ain't got time to do it today. I'm in the night. But I know, like, a part 2 or part 3 to this, I was eventually hitting on that. Man, listen, it's a lot to this about us being a priesthood people. This is really what the Torah is. You know what I'm saying? Why we was given the Torah. You know what I'm saying? Why we were given the contract. What work we got to do for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, this the whole basis of what we talking about. And this destroying doctrines of people that been capping with us all this time. Why we are here. Real quick, I'm gonna read 2 more verses. Then we finna get ready to close out real quick. Look, Ari, give me Psalm 22. Psalm 22, verse 27.
All the ends of the world shall remember and turn unto Yahuwah, and all the kindreds of the nations shall worship before thee. Man, that's a beautiful verse. I ain't never seen that.
So look, real quick before you continue, it say all the ends of the world shall remember and turn to unto Yahuwah. All the nations, all the ends of the world, y'all, not just Israel. And it say, and all the kindreds of the nations shall worship before you. For the kingdom, keep reading.
For the kingdom is Yahuwah's, and he is the governor among the nations.
We going.
He governor.
Verse 29.
And they that be fat upon earth shall eat and worship, and all they that go down to the dust shall bow before him, and none can keep alive his own soul.
Mm-hmm.
A seed shall serve him, it shall be accounted to Yahuwah for a generation.
Mm-hmm.
They shall come and shall declare his righteousness unto a people that should be born, that he have done this.
Y'all add that to y'all precept, Psalm 22.
Wow.
Psalm 22, 27, all the way to 31. Come on. Micah chapter 4, real quick. Micah chapter 4.
Where are we?
From the top, let's do it all the way to verse 3.
But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahuwah shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow into it. And many nations shall come and say, come and let us go to the mountain of Yahuwah, and to the house of the Elohim of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his path. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahuwah from Jerusalem.
Stop real quick. So we are supposed to give the Torah to the world. Know what I'm saying? And the world is supposed to come to us for this wisdom. Read verse 3.
And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears unto pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
All right, stop real quick. That's what I wanted. Man, it's gonna come a time where war ain't gonna be a thing. Wisdom gonna be a thing. You feel what I'm saying? The only way we beating people is intellectually, showing them correction through our intellect, not through no kissing no boots, no licking no boots, none of this. You feel what I'm saying? Isaiah 11 talked about how Mashiach gonna be striking people by the rod of his tongue. You feel what I'm saying? Not by striking people with no doggone whip because they want to do it like their oppressors did. But this is what our carnal Israelite brothers be that's be on their mind. The only thing is they motivation of doing right. They motivation of doing right is for us to be in the kingdom, right? And for them to be whooping on so-called Edomites and having slaves. That's their motivation. That's slick, wicked, y'all. You got to stop and pay attention to what we be saying or what they be saying. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm telling y'all now, the real reason of why we chosen is for us to be a nation of priests. What do a nation of priests do? We serve people we with righteousness. We serve people with wisdom, intellect, and we intercede for the people to show them to be a reflection in the image of the Most High. Remember, we were created in Elohim's image. You feel what I'm saying? Remember, we supposed to be keeping up his reputation. We'll be called by his name. The name in Hebrew, you say Shemkah. Shemkah means reputation. So when you call by his name, you call by his reputation and his character. So we must be in the same character of him and working in his divine intellectual mind, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, y'all. You feel me? This is why we naturally intellectual, naturally faster, naturally this and naturally that. Not for us to have slaves, but for us to be the temple of what a real human should be like. You feel me? And show other human how to operate. Know what I'm saying? But we got war ways on this where we can't fully potentially step into that. Every time you turn around, they giving us Black and Miles, Newport 100s, giving us these this gay ganja with no C's in it. You feel me? Back in the day, when I was in middle school and high school, boy, we used to love smoking mid. But then before you know it, everybody was smoking loud with no C's in it. And I ain't promoting nobody smoking or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is, the situation is, boy, we got a war waste on us, especially in the hood. And so they doing everything they can to tear us down at anatomically, you feel me? And our whole physical makeup, because our physical makeup is the same design that the actual Elohim which is many spirits of the Most High created us to be. You feel me? We got the same makeup as stars do. We got the same makeup as the sky, which is carbon, aka melanin, aka polysaccharides, which mean many sugars. This is what we got going on, and we can get into the sciences on a part 2 or anything like that. But I just want to lay the foundation of what we really is. Our purpose is to be a priesthood nation. All right. Anybody got any question, anything to say? Right, I'd rather be mad at myself. No cap. You're right, Shakir. So get what? When people be mad at white people, knowing that Gentiles were is the belt in the father hand, like my Moray Josiah say, you feel me? They the belt in the father hand. So you getting mad at them is you getting mad at the belt. When your mama really the one that whooping you, you feel what I'm saying? Don't get mad at the tool. You feel me? Get mad at yourself because you shouldn't have been acting up in the first place. You feel what I'm saying? So now it takes maturity to think like that. A lot of our carnal Israelites don't think like that because they not in their maturity right now. You feel what I'm saying? But it's all love to them because they're going to come to them at a point. You know what I'm saying? Right. Our vengeance is of the Most High. Vengeance is not of you. You ain't got to go out there trying to buy no whip so you can whip white people. You ain't got to do that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you want to do. No cap. Yeah, but check this out. I'll stay chastising me. Man, no cap. No cap, y'all. See, we gotta be accountable. Last time we talked about what Satan is. You know what I'm saying? Satan is what we have to deal with ourselves. We have to kill our animalistic nature, our lower nature, lower animalistic nature. This is what we gotta kill. You feel what I'm saying? This is what we dealing with. This the war that's waged on us black people. You know what I'm saying? Now, if anybody ain't got anything to say, I'm gonna go ahead and face east. We're gonna bust down on prayer and a blessing real quick. Then I'm gonna holler at y'all at another time.
Yo, I just want to say it's a total build, man. It builds a study. I appreciate everything. This is like the highlight of my week right now. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all for real.
Man, Tony Rabbi, Baruch Atah, boy, I appreciate you for real, for real. Man, that's that real ahava, y'all. Bless up. Hey, we finna go and send us one up real quick. Yes, sir. Yevareka ka Yahuwah v'yish mereka. Yae Yahuwah panav eleka vihuneka. Isa Yahuwah panav eleka v'yasen leka shalom. Abinu shebashemai yikadesh shemka ta'ovo makuteka yasen rasumka. Heavenly Father, we send in prayer to Yahushua, praying for a Baruch Shabbat leka dodi. Yes, sir. We bringing in Shabbat and we bringing in edification. I pray that we be able to, that the seed fall on good ground and that it grow and that we be fruitful, that we be the trees that we supposed to be. I pray for forgiveness for us and for our forefathers, and that we be able to do the right thing and we uphold the same promise and the covenant that you gave to our forefathers, Seth, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, all the way down to Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, even to our forefather Shemaiah, aka Moses. I pray that we be able to uphold the pure Mosaic Torah that he gave to us and be able to filter through the corrupted Torah that's given to us before our eyes, that everything we see and study and read, that we diligently go through, chew the fruits and spit the seeds out, and we recognize who we really are as a priesthood people, as the Kohanim and the Na'avim, and we really step into and be like a Sankofa bird and look back like the African Sankofa bird and go back to our roots, because truly our roots can't grow. And I pray all these things through the Ruach HaKodesh that you continue to protect and provide for us, be a shepherd over us. Through the Ruach HaKodesh, I pray, hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Kwam Yasharala.
Yes, sir.
Baruch
Bless
Shabbat.
up.
Shalom.
Right,
Shalom,
right.
Lala Tov.
Bless, sir.